Online Half-Life's built-in multiplayer mode wasn't too popular, but their incredible mod support more than made up for it. There were hundreds of free single-player multiplayer mods distributed online and via magazine cover discs. They Hunger, Runaway Trains, Science and Industry, Natural Selection and of course Counter-Strike.
But we'll talk more about Counter-Strike in a couple of weeks.
In May of 1998, Valve bought TF Software, the creators of the Team Fortress Quake mod, with the intent of releasing a standalone Team Fortress game. Team Fortress Classic, a mod for Half-Life, which was basically a port of the original Quake version, came out in 1999, but it would take 8 full years and several iterations for the first retail version to appear.
Half-Life's success, both critically and commercially, led to a bunch of ports and expansion packs.
Gearbox Software, famous today for creating Borderlands, the Brothers in Arms series, and resurrecting 3D Realms' swan song Duke Nukem Forever, developed a total of 6 Half-Life games between the release of 1 and 2. These included ports of the game to Dreamcast and PS2, the latter of which included co-op expansion Half-Life Decay, contributions to Counter-Strike and Counter-Strike Condition Zero, and the 2 PC expansion packs, Opposing Force, in which you played the part of one of the Marines, and Blue Shift, in which you stepped into the shoes of a Barney. In fact, this guy from the very start of Half-Life. But it took 3 years for Half-Life 2 to rear its head. At E3 2003, Valve showed off bite-sized chunks of their sequel and its incredible graphics and physics engine Source. We could hardly wait.
Rise and shine, Mr. Freeman. Rise and shine.
In Half-Life 2, Valve had a very simple mission: to make a game better than the best first-person shooter of the day, Half-Life 1. No small task then.
The first game was a largely self-contained story, so a sequel could have really been about anything. The direction they chose not only paved the way for the future of the universe, but breathed extra relevance into the actions of the first game, a brief summary of which is this. Gordon's destruction of the alien overlord Ninalath sparked portal storms across the Earth. Zen-like creatures appeared globally, forcing humans to retreat into cities. These attracted the attention of another alien race known as the Combine, who had been invading Zen. This ultimately led to the 7-hour war, in which humanity surrendered in less time it takes to cook and eat a whole turkey. Gordon's old administrator at Black Mesa, Dr. Wallace Breen, negotiated humanity's surrender with the Combine and now acts as administrator for the human race. As if that wasn't bad enough, the Combine implemented a suppression field to stop humanity from procreating. There are no children in Half-Life 2, just empty parks with echoes of children's laughter. Clearly all the unprotected sex had driven them all nuts, so many had decided to take on the Combine by joining the Lambda resistance movement. These guys identify themselves with the Greek letter lambda, which is actually a symbol for gay rights, which sort of makes the Combine look like an army of white trash homophobes. Your old enemies from the first game, the Vortigons, are now free of their oppressive master and choose to align themselves with the humans. Like the first game, you start Half-Life 2 on a train, placed there by the G-Man for reasons unknown. You arrive on rail to City 17, an unspecified Eastern European city, and one of many used to house humans since the alien takeover of Earth. Towering over the city is one of the planet's new Combine citadels, this one arguably the most important, as it houses the office of Earth's administrator, Wallace Breen. Upon processing, old friend and undercover Combine Barney Calhoun releases you into the city. Like the first game, you spend the first while taking in the tense atmosphere of the city and its terrified inhabitants. Eventually you start being chased, but just as you're captured, a friendly face appears.
Ha, no you don't!
Dr. Freeman, I presume.
Alex Vance, daughter of this guy, Eli Vance from the first game, sort of acts like your love interest from here on out, though she does most of the talking.
Man, a few words, aren't you?
She brings you to the lab of another old colleague, Dr. Isaac Kleiner, where you meet an old friend, your hazard suit. Kleiner, Calhoun and Vance are all part of the Lambda resistance, and buoyed by your arrival, plan to strike back at the Combine.
Just like in the original, most of the joy of playing Half-Life 2 came in the variety of weapons, enemies, environments and mechanics, and the compelling way in which the game combines them, forcing the user to come up with solutions to these new problems and giving them a wallop of the joy of discovery in the process.
For instance, early on in the game you come up against manhacks, these tiny mechanical hummingbirds bearing nasty rotary saws. Initially all you have to combat them is the crowbar or your pistol, which is limited ammo. But just when ammo becomes plentiful and you get good at hitting them from range, the game drops you in a room full of exploding barrels and loads them with the bastards.
However, the biggest game changer in Half-Life came in the form of the zero-point energy manipulator, or gravity gun, which basically lets you pick up anything in the game world and use it as a devastating projectile.
Initially, these come in the form of boxes, barrels and saw blades scattered around Ravenholm, which teaches you to search the floor for throwable objects in every environment. So when later in the game you're back in the city and you spot an incoming manhack, that voila moment is simply priceless. But there was something else even more satisfying about these moments in Half-Life 2, and a lot of that has to do with the game's engine. Source was capable of making complex equations about physics in the game world, from gravity, momentum and object collision to how light interacts with objects, fluids and the protagonist's retina. This gave Half-Life 2 a less rigid feel than its predecessor and disconnected the player from its mechanics. Valve utilised this to create some of the most hilarious gameplay of the day, with multiple ways to kill enemies, domino-style explosions and the brilliant toilet kills from Half-Life 2 Deathmatch.
Half-Life 2's campaign was genuinely magnificent and jam-packed with memorable moments from start to finish.
The boat-powered battles through the city's canals, the horror of booby-trapped, zombie-infested Ravenholm, the incredible discoveries in air battles as you drive down the coast, killing an ant-lion queen and commanding an army of her bastards and Denova Prospect, and the incredible journey through the Citadel with your bugged-out gravity gun that can suddenly pick up people! The game ends with you and Alex defeating Wallace Breen on top of the Citadel, resulting in an explosion that would surely kill you both, if not for a certain G-Man.
Time, Dr. Freeman? Is it really that time again? It seems as if you only just arrived.
Once again, he pulls you out on behest of his employers, once again offering little explanation as to why.
Valve then released 2 episodic standalone sequels for Half-Life 2, part of a trilogy that's yet to be completed.
Episode 1 started with the Vortigaunts breaking you free of the G-Man's control and saving Alex from the explosion. The combined attempt to use the destruction of the Citadel to send a distress call back to their homeworld. You make a copy of this message and free the city just as the Citadel detonates, opening a massive expanding portal through which Combine reinforcements hope to come through. Alex is alongside you for most of the episode, and in terms of narrative it delivers a lot, but overall it's probably the least satisfying of the games. Episode 2 has you and Alex frantically travelling cross-country to the White Forest Resistance base. This game introduced hunters, incredibly intelligent miniature striders, which were a joy to battle. And then there are the Combine advisors, highly intelligent telepathic slug things who masterminded the occupation of Earth.
Episode 2 had some of the best open battles of the series, including an amazing finale, which saw you battle off waves of incoming Combine while you protect the White Forest base.
In the end, the Resistance successfully launches a rocket and closes the portal. A message from fellow scientist Judith Mossman points to the location of the Borealis, an experimental ship from Black Mesa's scientific rivals, Aperture Science. Yes, that Aperture Science. The ship, which one day suddenly vanished into thin air with a part of the surrounding dry dock, is said to contain something of significance, though what that may be you're never told. And just as you and Alex plan to travel to the mysterious vessel, 2 advisors float in and kill Eli before Dog has a chance to chase them away. Though the episodes contained as much if not more story than the original game, their pacing felt a bit off and the length of time required to develop them took Valve by surprise. Over 4 years later, the fabled Episode 3 has never been seen, though many have pointed out that Portal is in fact part of the Half-Life universe and may be setting up a larger sequel in the form of Half-Life 3. Though Half-Life 2 lives on in the incredible mods such as Source Sandbox Gary's mod and upcoming Half-Life 1 fan remake Black Mesa, the community pines for the return of Gordon Freeman. Will 2012 finally be the year we see something about it? Well, will it? Gabe?
So, what do you guys think? Will we actually see Half-Life 3 this year? Will the worlds of GLaDOS and Freeman collide? Will 2012 Gordon Freeman lose the thick-rimmed glasses for fear of being called a hipster? Let us know what you think in the comment box below, or feel free to contact me directly using TwitFace. Thanks guys for watching the first episode of Season 2 of Escape from Mount Stupid. I am so sorry it's this long. It's Half-Life, I couldn't help myself. This is part of a 6-week run, so we've got 5 more episodes coming every Monday for the next 5 weeks, including the next one, which is about this.
Oh yeah!